People who've said, well, I'll give you another example. We're in a house now that used to be two houses, and we made a door through to get into the... So I bought the other half and joined them up. And I was turned down for a mortgage because they said, your house is not secure because there's a door through into another property and it's not secure. And I said, but I own both. I'm living in both. You know, so the only person who can come through from the other side is me.
Yeah.
And they're going, yes, but the system is we can't get insurance because it's not secure against the next. And I said to the guy, can you hear how crazy what you're saying sounds? And he went, yeah. And I said, would you like to have your bonus? And he went, oh, I'd love it. He said, but I just can't. It's the system.
Yeah.
And we both agreed it was madness. And I just think only big companies can have that kind of thing because they become so unwieldy. Nobody can see the whole thing anymore, and nobody can look, and we don't know whose job it is, and nobody can say, what is this? So I think if you add up all these reasons, the bigger the company gets, the more inefficient they are. And we've already been talking about how as your company gets bigger, you get less turnover per head. And we've already seen how bureaucracy grows faster than the company, which all kind of points to the same thing.
So one of the
and yet we have huge companies in the world.
So one of the issues that you haven't talked about is a lot of these huge companies have been around for a long time, and that's allowed that bureaucratic burden to grow over years at 7%. So during some period in their history, they must have been expanding very fast, and that sort of bureaucratic growth wasn't a problem because they were expanding far faster than their bureaucracy was.
Yeah.
But at some point, they can't carry on that meteoric rise, and they start to level off as a giant company. But underneath this is a culture, is a practice of growing their bureaucracy at 7% a year.
It's much harder to cut as well, isn't it? Pick on someone and get rid of them, and whatever they were doing won't be done at all now, and hard to get rid of.
Yeah, or somebody will be given it to doing their job as well, and they just do it half-assed.
So that's why the companies are there. They grow slowly, and they get less efficient as they grow. But of course, the people at the top still make more money from a big company than they do from a small one, even though it's less efficient.
So the numbers are bigger, but the numbers per person are much lower.
Yeah, they're making half the profit, but the company's 5 times as big. So.
Yeah. And it has that feeling of stability.
Yes, the illusion of stability.
The illusion of stability, yeah.
It's like a big ship, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just has that kind of illusion of stability.
Yeah. But it can't steer. It can't change direction.
And the iceberg doesn't need to be bigger than the ship.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
What's the interesting thing is a point that we kind of talked about earlier was how stiff and rigid it becomes, and that how it just can't flex at all. And the rules which you talked about, like you can't have a door in between the two properties because we can't handle that in our system. Just say, well, you're not part of our model anymore. You need to go somewhere else in order to get insurance.
Yeah.
Because we can't handle that. We just can't handle the regular handle-turning insurance. And of course, as we look at, for instance, banking is becoming more and more standardised. And any deviation from that standard model...
It's really hard to get.
Can't get it.